Is everybody there? Can you guys hear me? Hi, Zoe. Hi, Debbie. Can you guys hear? I'm not sure. Oh, so you did hear me, right? Thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Just someone say yes, please. Okay, terrific. Anyway, welcome to Amy Howard, Artist in Residence series. Hi, Cheryl. My name is Audra Lynch Nene, and I am one of the artists in residence here. And today we are going to be talking about magazine-worthy bathrooms. So let a few people get on. Hi, Deborah from Wisconsin. It's so fun to see people from all over the place. It really is something how far we've come, isn't it? And I really enjoy. Oh, first, so if anyone could just go to my page, Audra Lynch at Sea, which is just French for and company. Just like the page, share this video if you guys like it. Also, I do have a new website, a finesurface.com. Some of the buttons aren't working quite yet, but there is a place to subscribe to a newsletter, and I can keep you informed of all of the activities coming up. That would be great. So let's just get started, shall we? So again, it's magazine-worthy bathrooms, and I found this one. This is actually from a catalog, Front Gate catalog, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that. They have some really pretty things, but this was my inspiration for today. Can you see that? Isn't that gorgeous? So the vanity is actually called Etienne, which is French for Stephen, and the finish is called French patina, obviously. So it retails for $5,000. So if you guys want to make over your vanity, it's really simple, honestly. So there's a close-up of it too, which is really nice in the catalog. So you can kind of see some of the cracking and the pits. So that's a nice added feature to that. Then again, I'm using my sample card just because I like to do that. Keep track of my colors and my process. So if I want to do it again, because I've had designers say, oh my gosh, I love that, whatever you did, and let's do it again. And then I've had to try to go back and say, oh my gosh, what did I do? So it really helps to keep track of those things. So let's talk about the list of supplies. Always start your project with clean slate. You wanna make sure that your surface is super clean. A vanity is not quite as dirty as a kitchen, but there's still a lot of contaminants with hair oils, sprays, all that kind of stuff. So you really want to get it nice and clean. Doing a light sanding is never going to hurt. So, I still kind of do that, but then, so wipe with clean slate, get it really good. I would wait a little bit after cleaning. I think it even says on there an hour, maybe 15 minutes. I don't remember. I'm always one to, only 5 minutes. So me, I go a little extra. So make sure you clean it. Next thing you're gonna have is a base coat. And the base coat is going to be one-step paint. And I chose the color Windsor, which is a dark brown, which for in this case, it works really well for showing the dark and bringing the depth of the piece up. Hi, Janet. Let's see. And then we've got two colors here. So if you look at the sample, so patina means that it's got a green film, and it usually was because of oxidation on copper. So that's where the word patina comes from, basically, a green film. So this is kind of in a green-blue color, and I love this color. Oh my gosh. It's called Bergère Blue. And It's also a one-step paint. You could probably do, let's see, if you get Amy's color guide, which is honestly like a color Bible. I love their colors. I don't know if you could see them. So I chose Bergère Blue, but another couple other colors that could potentially work would be Robin Egg Blue, Page Blue. It's a little lighter, but you still kind of get that French patina look out of it. You don't want too blue, you don't want too green. So it's a really nice color. And then I chose Sunday Nap for the trim piece. And you will also need a little bit of cracked patina. You see that one? Now this is optional. I think I prefer it without the glaze, but you can actually glaze it if you would like to, add a little more depth. So I'm gonna show you both, but this is glazed over. And then you want your light and dark wax, okay? So, of course you want a couple of paintbrushes. I have a small round brush. Oh, and the fun part is a screwdriver, because we are going to put a little bit of wormwood holes in our finish. And wormwood is actually not worms, they are beetles. And the eggs were laid into wet wood when it's moist and whatever, and then they decide to hatch and come out of the wood and make the little holes that we actually really like. So let me turn this down for you. Hi, Lorette. I hope everyone's doing great because it's so sunny out today. It's gonna be 70 degrees. Tomorrow's gonna be 30, which stinks, but it's okay. It's good to see the sun, right? So, and I can't see, I'm not coming up on live. Oh yeah, I am, okay. There we go. So, now I already did the base coat for you because that's kind of a simple step. I did it first on this piece of, all I did was buy a 1/4 inch piece of plywood, which is actually not very great to use. I don't know if you can see kind of all that texture in there of the grain. It's not quite desirable for this finish in my mind, but so MDF might work better if you want to actually practice on a sample piece. And then I actually did a sample board and I cut some trim just to show you guys what that finish would look like if it actually had trim. But let's say you don't have trim and you don't want to go through the steps of cutting it or whatever, you can actually tape it out like I did here, and it will give you the illusion of a trim piece. And honestly, I guarantee that would look really nice as well. So since I have the base coat, basically with the base coat, you're just going to apply, like I said, the Windsor brown, and you're just going to do, I like doing 2 coats. You only have to do 1 probably, but you could do 2 coats. Oh, let's get back to this part. So I don't know if you can see this. I added a couple little marks in there, wormwood holes. So basically, when they're trying to come out and they're laid, they usually tend to be, I feel, maybe a little more in groupings. So you're just going to take your, even if you have a metal pick or something other with heavy duty metal pieces, you can just pound it in. So just kind of sporadically add some. You don't have to be precise, just kind of just pop it in there wherever you want. And it is better to do it before the base coat, then that way it can get nice and dark, the paint will get in there. Otherwise you'd have to go back and do that. So we've got the worms. If you wanted to distress it even more, you can, but this particular finish did not have that. So let's go on to this one. So cracked patina, we are only going to do, this only requires a very little bit of the cracked patina, because like I said, if you look at this picture, let me see, hold on. I blew it up for you guys so you could see it. If you look at this picture, there's just a little bit of the cracking going on. It's not all over. So on this particular piece, I want to just do a little bit. And now the cracked patina is a product that does not dry. You need to go over it with one step only. It's not gonna work with the Miracle Paint nor the Milk Paint. So you're just gonna take this small brush and I'm just gonna add a little bit, just say, just a few little spots. Now you can apply it fairly liberally in those spots. You wanna try to keep it in one direction and the same way that you're gonna wind up painting. You're gonna wanna let this dry a couple hours. That's why then I already did it on my sample for you. So you just apply that, like I said, just in a couple strategic places. I'll pour that back in here. You're gonna wanna let this dry, like I said, at least an hour. I let it dry, well actually my sample dried for 2 days. So now when you put your one-step paint on top of it, that's when the magic of the crackle happens, which we will do that on this next piece for you. This stuff works so nicely. So like I said here, so you see how shiny it is, and it's gonna stay shiny. Now if you wanted full crackle, say on something else, I would suggest using a foam brush so you're not having brush marks in there. But for this particular thing, since we're just doing little tiny spots, this little brush does just fine. So I'm gonna set this aside. Hopefully it dries enough and I can kind of show you putting the light color in here, what that will look like. So let's pretend we waited for it to dry. I already did the white, the Sunday nap, and you can see how it already has some cracking in the certain places. This one will go over with the Bergère blue. I will put another coat on here because I don't know if you can see, it's very light in some areas, but I want to show you how I apply it to kind of keep that dark of the wormwoods and the color in there, because if you do it too thick, you're going to lose that dark color underneath there, and we want to actually see that. So let's open up our Bergère. I really love this color. Really, really love it. Isn't this scrumptious? Gosh. Now you want to use a nice brush on this too with the one-step paint. You want it nice and smooth. And you're just going to take it straight out of the can. Now when I applied the cracked patina, I actually applied it going this way. So I want to maintain my paint going the same way. Same thing on this part. And if I were doing this on my own, I would actually tape everything off. On this part, you don't necessarily have to do it doing the trim. And I suggest doing all the trim first, one color, and then going back and doing the other color, because you kind of want to work in small batches. And you'll see why, once I get to the crack patina part, you don't want to play in that area, because as the cracking starts, if you come back over with the brush, you could literally take the top coat off and produce a blob, honestly. So let me just get in there. So just nice. You can see that it's already starting to activate. And I really would take this off doing this part. And you can see how I left, you know, you do have the pinhole in there, and I like that part. If you do tend to go over it too much, when we get to the waxing stage, or that's why you can even add some glaze, you can add that back into there and see those. So now this had a little bit in there, and I can tell because it's already reacting. I don't know if you can see that. But if I were to pull on that, I would start to pull that off more. And again, it's not the end of the world. You can still do that. It just gives it a little more distressed. Ooh, but see, look how nice. Look at that, how it's cracking. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like, ooh. So, and again, when you're doing your vanity, take your time. You don't have to rush through it. And we're just gonna put nice, even, fluid brush strokes. See, that's cracking already. So, isn't this color gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I just love it. I studied French for 6 years. I've always loved French things. When I was in junior high, I had it all junior high, had it in high school, and I even had French in college 1 year. And we weren't allowed to speak any English, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. But I can read French a bit and understand more than actually speak it. I would think, though, I would be able to pick it up fairly quickly. I would hope, after all that time, right? So, okay. So you can see this starting to crack too in there, a little bit there. It's starting to crackle there. Ooh, am I holding it not in the right spot? Sorry. But, and this wood is really not the nicest piece of wood, which I should have gotten a different one, but that's okay. So, see, and I don't have a bucket of water to rinse my brushes. So, let's add a little bit more of the Sunday nap. So now let's say we wanted to come back and add a little bit more onto there. We are going to make sure you always shake your cans. I had shaken them all yesterday, which I probably could have done a little more today. Sunday nap has a little bit of a pink hue to it though. If you wanted a different color, you could definitely go a little creamier than the Sunday nap. So, let's see. So see how that's starting to really crackle? That's so nice. And now, like I said, it's just in some strategic places. So, now on this part, like I said, you can see where it's kind of going through a little bit, and I'm not quite happy with that. So I would just come back and add some second coat to fill that in. Now, if I'm going over something, say this crackle, I don't want to put a fully loaded brush on there because that paint will go into the crack. So I'm going to offload it next to it and then just kind of come over it so I'm not filling in all of those cracks, if that makes sense to you guys. Does that make sense? And then you just put enough on to where you're happy with it. And again, over the lighter area, just nice and light, keeping some of that, the dark specks in there. You can always thin the one-step paint out a little bit with some water if it gets a little too thick for you. I don't mind it too thick. So again, on here, see this is a little light, but I want to keep that. So I'm offloading in front of it, just lightly pulling it over it. So it's almost like I'm just lightly using the flat side of my brush on there. Like I said, to keep all of those dark spots in there. That's what I really want. And again, like I said, I would normally take this off because you can see I got blue in there. So now that we have that done, I mean, that's so really quite easy, right? So when that's done, you want to come back and you could put a second coat of the green or the Bergère blue, second coat of your cream color or white color, and you're ready. You honestly have a good finish. You can sand it down if you have a little bit of, where's my sandpaper? Well, this one's wet. So this one is done. So I did this. This spot, can you see? I pulled when it was too wet and it actually took it off. So that's the one thing. Let's see, where is my, I didn't do that on here for you guys. If I were to pull this, it would start pulling it. I might have done it too late. Well, now I'm losing the cracks on there, which I don't like. But if I would to have gone, just kept going over it, see how I pull that off and it gets all crunky? Can you see that? Yeah, I don't really want that. I mean, it does cause, or it does show an aged finish, but that's not really what I was going for. So I really don't like that. That's why when you paint it directly over the cracked patina, you want to just let it be. So don't play with it, then that's why then just come in with the second coat of the Bergère blue. And so this sample actually has 2 coats on it. I was fine with leaving this. I thought I would just show you guys that spot. So I'm going to glaze this one and show you the difference of glazing and then just waxing. So let's move this over. So now the glazed over, this is glazed over. You see that there? I mixed a little bit of my Windsor into glazed over. I used probably 6 parts glaze to 1 part paint because I wanted something that was just really, really light. And let's see, I have another brush. Now you could apply this with, I didn't have any more wiping cloths today either. I really have usually a good handy supply of them. Wiping cloths are nice. They're just soft cotton. I get them at Home Depot. I do have cheesecloth, which you can use cheesecloth as well. I prefer the wiping cloths though. So let's just say you want to add a little bit of glaze, especially to, yikes, made a mess, especially to, good thing it's not, anyway, okay. So let's add a little bit to maybe the distressed parts. And I'm going to use cheesecloth. Now you just kind of push that in there and wipe it off. And that will darken those spots a little bit better if you want it to. I feel the glaze or the wax does equally a nice job. The Windsor tends to color it a little bit different. You basically want to put your glaze on and then wipe it off. But it will go into the crevices and darken them up. Can you see the difference, obviously, between the non-glazed and the glazed? It does give a sense of richness. But I feel that the sample that is in that magazine didn't have a lot of that. So that's why I wanted to just wax it instead. But I thought, let's just show both options here. So here we go. See, it just settles nice into there. How pretty is that though? It is pretty. And obviously you're not going to be touching them with your fingers. It's going to be stationary. Sometimes samples are a little harder than your actual piece because you've got all this stuff. You've got a decent amount of time to work with the glaze too, I feel. But I wouldn't go putting it all over the whole thing and then trying to rub it off. So again, you want to work in smaller sections. And your corners or your crevices are important. You don't want to leave gobs in there. And unfortunately, like I said, this piece of wood is not the best. So it's got a lot of, you see a lot of the grain in there. So, I mean, that's fairly easy, right? I know you guys could do this too. Did I mention Christy? Oh my gosh. She watched last week's or the last month's with the Carrara marble. And if you check on Amy's before and after, she did such an amazing job with her Carrara marble dining room table. And that just makes me so happy that people watch and they actually apply it and are able to produce something really pretty. So, I don't know if you can see this. It's very close to that finish. But let me show you. And now you could let this dry and just put clear wax on it, or you could put, or the light wax. You could actually put light wax with some dark wax on it. But let me show you. So this one has wax on it. It's a little more agey, yellowy, which instead of the glaze over. Let's see, I know I had one that I was going to wax. Here we go. So let's show you the waxing part. So what I do with the wax, start with the light wax first. Gosh. And the light wax serves as a barrier so the dark wax doesn't just absorb in, and you can slide it around. So if you put a little of your wax on your piece, you're gonna put that in there. Make sure you get into your crevices. Now you can actually, as that's wet, that's what I do anyway. Come in with your, I would use a different rag. Come in with just a little bit of the dark, and you can kind of highlight it in your crevices. And then just blend that off. Just to darken those up if you feel that they're not dark enough. That's all. You don't even need to use the dark wax at all if you don't want to. I think on the Bergère blue, other than cracks, I think the light wax does just a great job on its own. It really deepens it up. And you're just going to apply the wax. Make sure you get into all the crevices. And again, it's really different on these little samples than working on a big furniture piece that doesn't move on you. You might be in a better position. So. And then you can go back after about 20 minutes and buff it if you'd like to. So again, if anyone does go to afinesurface.com and check out the website, let me know, because I've not built a website before, and I've been doing a lot of looking into all that stuff, and I know the drop-down menus don't work right now, so they will. Anyway, so there, if you can see, let's see can you see the blue? I touched it wet. See a little bit of the difference between the waxed and not waxed? Maybe not on this one. Let's see, I can on these though. This is not dry. I put more wax on here. See how much deeper this one is versus this? This is just a little more in depth. And now how pretty would this be? So if you did your vanity, and you actually did your Carrara marble that we did, look how nice that is. It's so much like the picture. So let me turn you up so I can talk to you again. Ooh. Okay, is that better? Let's see, any questions? Thanks, Leslie. Thanks, Karen. I know, and it's so easy, right? Really pretty easy, I think. I mean, it really was just a few steps, and look how nice that is, right? It's so nice. That Bergère blue, though, really is such a nice color. Let's see if, so again, here's the sample that we just taped. Hi, Mia. Let's see, let me do the Sunday nap. I should have things. Last time I had comments on my iPad. Now I have them up here. So thanks, Charlotte. Becky, yeah, right? Isn't that marble with that color? It's beautiful. That's why I really just, you know, when I look at pictures, I mean, design has come, a lot of people can put things together now as just with the internet and everything that we can search and do. A lot of people are able to put things together themselves, unlike maybe years past. But I mean, just how classic this bathroom is with the black and white checkered floor with this French patina and the marble top. My next plan is we're going to be doing a side table with an ombre linen wrap, which will be really pretty. And then I broke it into 2 parts so it won't be as long. And then the top, we're gonna do a shagreen top, which is actually shark skin or Stingray, depending on where it comes from, but it would go lovely in a bathroom like this. So anyway, let's see how well this works, because I'm pushing it. I know it's not dry. Like I said, the cracked patina will never quite dry. You have to put the one step over it in order to get the crackle. And if you have, let's see, should I have my bucket? So here, let's see if it works. Now I'm just doing this haphazardly, and I'm not even painting it down. So I just want you guys to see, and I hit that and it moved it. When you guys start working with it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. While it's wet, if you play with it too much, it does some funky stuff. And again, you would be putting 2 coats on this. So you can see all that grunk down there. So I just want to show you kind of what it looks like. Oh my goodness, don't mind my painting today. I didn't eat breakfast. We had a little bit of initial trouble doing the test to get on, so then I was all stressed out, like, oh no, it's not gonna work, but we got it, obviously. So if you tape it and you don't have it, see? I mean, you could totally tape it and it would look nice, even if you don't have the trim, right? I mean, it would work. So, I mean, we do those faux lines and faux things all the time in our field. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Anybody have any questions? Let's see. I know, right? I know, I think we spent almost an hour trying to get on for the test this morning. I was like, oh gosh, I almost had to do this with my laptop, and I'm thinking, how am I gonna actually have this position so you guys could see it? So anyway, so any questions? Like I said, you can just go over and sign up for the newsletter, like the page, share this, that would be great. Stay tuned. I don't know who's coming up on Thursday. I don't remember what's going on. I think my normal night, or my normal time though, is Thursdays at 7. I switched with one of the other gals. She's on a sunny cruise today, so I'm envious of that, right? But so I hope you like that. French patine, my palette patine. How nice is that? Very simple, just a couple steps. Base coat, crack patina, paint over it, and wax it. And you've got a really beautiful finish for a new vanity, a new table. It doesn't have to be in the bathroom. You could do anything, a furniture piece, a side table, whatever you'd like to do. So, afinesurface.com, afinesurface.com. So, thanks, Janet. And I really, really love that you guys, if you do try it, please make sure you share the pictures with all of us, because we want to know that our efforts are helping you guys. We really want to share our knowledge. Amy's got great products, and we're all here to help everybody out. So please make sure you do that, okay? Hi, Mary Margaret. Thank you. So I'm going to say goodbye. Until next time, the linen ombre. Make sure you stay tuned for that one, okay? Thanks, Patty. You guys, everybody have a great day, okay? Bye.